The parents have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. This was apparently an old saying in the 6th century before the Common Era. And apparently it was of some comfort to Ezekiel's fellow Israelites during their exile in Babylon. It's based on the theology that you will find in parts of the Hebrew scriptures, including Deuteronomy chapter 5. I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing children for the iniquity of parents to the 3rd and 4th generation. Why would these words be of comfort? I would suggest that it was because the people in exile, they could say, well, you see, it's not my fault. It's something that my parents did. It's not my fault. And so there's nothing I can do about it. In the 21st century, we would say, I have bad karma. We link that with fatalism. We might today say that today's catastrophes are because our forefathers exploited people of color, or people without privilege, or because our forefathers burned too much fossil fuel, or because we failed to educate our children about medical science and science in general. But you see, when we start to think that way, God has a message for us. Not so fast. You also bear responsibility. And responsibility means that you can do something about it. And that something is turn then and live. Turn then and live. Now, Matthew is all about turning. We have today the parable, which I like to call it the parable of the passive-aggressive son. One of the sons says, yes, I'll mow the lawn today, and then doesn't do it. And the other says, no way, I'm not mowing the lawn. But he does it. I like to wonder, I'm reading a novel right now where there's a character that just gets into all kinds of mischief and trouble and creates trouble wherever he goes, but there's something about him that shows that he has a very good heart. I wonder whether that second son, the one who refused to go work in the vineyard, then went and did it. Did he do that because maybe he was trying to help his brother out? Maybe he had that good of a heart. But whatever, he turned and he did what he had to do. But Matthew is not just about turning around. He's not just about turning. His message is also that it's never too late to turn. Last week we had the parable of the workers in the vineyard, where the people who went to work last at the very end of the day, they got the same reward as the people that had started right in the first thing in the morning. It's never too late. Now, these two parables, they only appear in the book of Matthew. You see, Matthew had reason to write this because he is living proof that it's never too late to turn around. He even tells his story in chapter 9. That's where Jesus calls him. Jesus sees him working in his tax booth, sitting in his tax booth. He was a tax collector, regarded as a great sin against the Israelite people. to be an agent of the Roman Empire and fleece people through taxes. And Jesus sees him there in the tax booth and he says, "Follow me." And then later, Jesus invites himself to dinner at Matthew's house. And some of the righteous people, observing that he went to eat with this reviled man, they asked his disciples, they said, "Why does your teacher eat with people like this?" And Jesus says, "I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." Jesus is all about turning around, and it's never too late. Jesus was in the turning back business, and he still is. Anyone who has been in a 12-step program can tell you that you can turn and it's never too late. And that's what I call redemption. That's redemption, when you turn. I have a mentor who says that Alcoholics Anonymous was the greatest contribution to theology in the 20th century. Now, that's not because AA did not make the contribution that AA made to theology was not that you can turn around, and it was not that it's never too late to turn around, because the Gospels had already made that abundantly clear. What AA contributed was that turning around is not a do-it-yourself proposition. You cannot make your own redemption without help. You have to call in a professional. You have to call in the professional redeemer. And you do that by putting your trust in Jesus Christ. The professional redeemer said to Matthew, "Follow me." And he did. Amen.